we could be a bit of a, I know it's very silly, very stupid, but just a small help to someone to make someone's day, make people smile, give them a lift for free. And, the World Cup, as controversial as it has been, it does still bring people together from all over the world into one place.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of Today's Explorers, a series dedicated to sharing the inspiring stories and varying perspectives of those who've chosen to seek out life-changing adventure. On today's call, we've got return visitors Seth and Ollie. Hey, guys.
How's it going?
Thank you for having us.
Maybe you could set the scene again. Where in the world are you calling in from today?
We're at my home part of the world, Vancouver Island, Canada, the Comox Valley specifically.
Awesome. We'll get to the reason why you're there, but I thought maybe we could reflect on the, casual trip you did most recently. So I have to say, massive congrats on making it to Cape Town. How does it feel?
I think having now a couple of months to reflect on it, I can't believe we done it, to be honest. It's a trip and a continent less traveled, as you well know, but to do it in the vehicle, we done it at the pace we done it with all the things that went wrong. And then to look back on it and, it just, even when I read about it, when we've been on podcasts and newspapers and BBC articles and things, and I go, what idiots would do that? Then it was me. It doesn't feel real. And I don't know. I think it's going to. It's a bit like grieving almost. It's like it's going to take a while to process everything we've done, and that every day there's a story to last a lifeline.
Yeah, it's really hard to it's hard to fathom that we accomplished that. Like Ollie said, it was one of the greatest and the worst things I think I've ever done in my life. But yeah, it was incredible.
And in reality, it was kind of a short amount of time, less than a year. So you were going at pace, and it's easy how it quickly came and went, and now you're on to the next thing. I'm very curious about like the Guinness Book of World Record certificate. Do you have a certificate that you got, and what is that process?
It's in the process.
Not yet.
Yeah, it's in processing at the moment.
Okay, but we'll imagine that seeing you guys in those Guinness Book of World Record books that they publish at some point.
That's the dream.
I hope so. Yeah,
that'll be exciting. Cool. So yeah, again, reflecting on the fact that you've taken a Reliant Robin from London to Cape Town, would you do it again? How much does someone have to pay you to go back and go the other way?
Balls in their court. To be honest, I think we were both very glad it finished. Because it wasn't comfortable. Last time we spoke to you, we no aircon, car was falling apart, engine blew up, diff went, gearbox went. And we were stuck in the Congo for 2.5 weeks. We were stuck in Ghana for 2.5 weeks. We were stuck in Cameroon for 2.5 weeks. And yeah, it was hellish some days.
Yeah,
it really was.
Fatigue really started to
just a heat
set in. Yeah, like fighting heat exhaustion daily almost.
Was there a point though where it hit you that like we actually might make this? I
think for me it was when I saw Table Mountain. It was sunset. You saw it in the distance, and it was like a few tears came out. It was pretty emotional for me at that moment.
I think, as soon as we left the Congo, I think I knew we'd make it, kind of thing, because from what we've heard of Angola from other travellers and things, it was relatively modernised compared to where we'd been. So if we were in trouble, especially like Namibia and South Africa, it was always going to be a little bit easier to get out of trouble, I guess. But we were on a massive time crunch. We were trying to get a world record and set a half decent time, I guess. And then, financially, and we had families and lives to go back to as well.
Yeah.
So there was, I think, for me, it was crossed into Namibia, and then just being able to use your card again was quite nice. I think from then on, I knew we'd make it.
And was there like a single toughest moment? I know you guys had major mechanical issues all the time, but like, was there a point where you're like, I can't do this anymore?
I think I kind of thought it was over when the connecting rod blew out at the side of the engine. Ollie was more optimistic than me. I was like, the costs of shipping an engine into Cameroon are exponential. The trip was a lot more expensive. A lot of these countries are more expensive than Europe to travel at times. So I just didn't think we were going to be able to get it going in a reasonable time at all.
It was a low point. Indeed, I do think the lowest point for me specifically, though, was when we welded the rear diff back together, and it lasted 3 hours, 3 or 4 hours. And then we got towed for the second time, but we got towed into Point Noir, in the Congo, which is meant to be quite dangerous at night by a truck, and then the tow bar that their truck was towing us at night into a pothole-ridden city of Point Noir, and then their tow thing snapped, so we were just left stranded, having to push our car in the middle of the night. And then I was really ill. Remember when we got to the hotel, I had to, well, I won't go into detail, but you can imagine both ends.
Yeah.
And I was just so fed up.
Yeah, that was tough. That was, driving a Reliant Robin with no lights in the middle of the dark through the Congo with no brakes, really. One of the more harrowing experience I think I've had in the middle of the night.
The battery ran out as well, so we couldn't turn the light.
We had no battery. It was just darkness and using the brake lights of the truck in front of us. That was all we had for 4 hours.
And all along, you've got to like keep up with social media and stuff like that. I guess that was tough after moments like that to be like, right, we're still going.
I mean, it's a double-edged sword, really, because on the other hand, it is great content. People want to see us fail. I'll give it, So yeah, of course. But then, when we're waiting for parts and things, you do get a bit of a break, I guess. So yeah.
Yeah, cool. Well, one of my questions is, how did you engage with others on the trip? I know you obviously kept up with people on social media, but like as you're traveling through places, how did you engage with other people you met?
People always, when you're driving a three-wheeled car through the Congo and stuff, you really don't have to try very hard, I don't think. People come to you and instantly spark up conversations. You definitely need to be a bit of a socialite to drive a Reliant Robin across Africa, because you get a crowd built up within 5 minutes around you.
You end up having the same conversation maybe several times a day. By the 7th time, I just don't care. I'm just like, sorry, but wrong time of day for me.
Yeah.
I'll give you one-word answers you're looking for. I need to go find a bed. But yeah, look, there's so much comedy value in the car we had that I think we had probably more interactions than other people doing it in a typical Land Rover or a Hilux or something, to our benefit as well, because we weren't, the police on the whole in general were relatively nice to us, especially in Nigeria. It was a pain in the arse getting stopped every 5 minutes, but they were interested, and I think that helped us quite a bit. And then a lot of people helped us on the way mechanically as well. When we got a tow in Cameroon, and it was all because of the connections of the car. And you start those conversations, and before you know it, you've got someone's phone number. Call me if you've got any issues, and well, we did.
Yeah,
quite a lot.
Everyone wanted to see us succeed.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Were there any people on that journey that had seen you on social media? With now the social media is prevalent everywhere, but
yeah, lots of overlanders. Yeah, in particular the German guys, and
when we pulled up into a kind of an overlanding spot, people were like, "Oh, you made it." In Namibia, we had a few people randomly in the street saw us without Sheila, and we're like, "Oh, where's Sheila?"
Oh yeah,
outside of the parts store.
Weird,
like, she's broken right now, so we're getting car parts for it.
That's funny. Is there a moment of kindness that pops out from the trip?
Gideon in Namibia.
Gideon, yeah. We had a bad head gasket done. They machined our head at an angle instead of flat. And we were originally supposed to go to Gideon, but he ended up having something come up. So he took us in, and we spent probably 20 hours in the shop over 2 days just getting the car dialed in. And without him, we wouldn't have made it to the finish line, I don't think.
Yeah, for free, and gave us food and drink and
biltong.
Yeah, all sorts of stuff. Yeah, I think that was pretty kind.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Nice. Of the countries or regions that you went through, like, which was maybe the most surprising on your trip?
Liberia for me was really cool. Didn't really know what to expect. Only knew it for its kind of colonial past, really. But yeah, it was just luscious jungle, very green. The coastline where we were in particular was class. The roads were surprisingly good as well. And then some of the waterfalls and nature reserves we stayed in were just stupendous. Some of the best of the trip, in my opinion. And everyone was really nice as well. We got a free hotel somewhere in Monrovia, right?
Yeah, Monrovia. We got a free hotel.
Yeah, no, Liberia wasn't expecting much of it. We weren't even meant to go there, to be fair.
No, we didn't until we got approved to go through Sierra Leone.
Yeah.
We thought we were going to have to go around.
That's true, yeah.
Oh, wow.
But I think for me, something about Angola really stuck with me. It reminded me of like Afghanistan, like the Martian kind of landscape with the sand and like the dunes and the rock there. Had this really cool perspective with the ocean. The landscape I just found incredible with that African. It was just like a blend of, reminded me of my trip through Afghanistan and Africa combined into this incredible incredible landscape, friendly people, and a bit off the beaten path feeling, the road less traveled, I think, through there. And cheap fuel was great too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cheapest fuel of the trip, I think.
That's cool. What did the journey, I guess, teach you about resilience and teamwork that you didn't expect?
I think every day was a battle because something was happening. I think we had to learn to rely on each other's skill sets, whatever that may be in particular. But yeah, every day there was a new challenge that propped up, and it was just rolling with the punches. I think you've got to do. I think we're both quite resilient in our own way and quite stubborn. But I think that's a good thing when you do something like this, because you need to be. Other people would, we met other overlanders who. The German couple who had a bad night on the beach and they turned around and went home, and a few others as well that had things happen to them, and they, it's not a place for the faint-hearted. Unfortunately, some of these places can be quite rural, quite dangerous, and one breakdown, you might lose confidence in yourself. So yeah, building up that resilience, I think, as we went along, was quite important.
Yeah, you need to work together. You don't have a choice. You can't be at each other's throats, and it's a tough place to travel.
I guess you had, a goal that you wanted to achieve, as opposed to someone with an open-ended journey around the world.
That's very true.
I guess that kept the momentum going.
I think that definitely probably helped us, because you could kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel for sure.
Oh yeah, we were going to do it by hook or by crook, really. Apart from when the engine blew up, I think that's when we did officially give up then, to be honest. But yeah, the thought of going home losers was far worse than trying everything to try and get to the end.
Cool. Well, a couple more questions about the Reliant Robin, and then we'll move on to the next thing. But looking back, is there anything you would do differently? Maybe a car with 4 wheels, but if you were to do it again?
Well, yeah, I mean, if I was going to do London to Cape Town again, it would take some convincing, but yes, I would definitely do it in a better car. But if we turn back the time and made some modifications, we would install a fridge.
Yeah.
And I don't know how or where we would put it, but we would need one. I think the heat stroke, as Seth said earlier, and just having a cold drink goes a long way to boost your morale. Well, it was great. And then the other thing was, because the Reliant Robin's engine is basically in your bollocks, you can't hear anything in the front. So from an entertainment point of view, we couldn't listen to any music or podcasts. So if we could have a split in the radio, so we can both wear noise cancelling headphones and listen to something, that would have made the long days a little bit easier, I think. And
yeah, like otherwise, I don't think there's that much that I would have upgraded on the Rob. Maybe an electronic ignition, but there's only so much you can do. Like lifting up a 3-wheeled car is a somewhat terrifying concept. So mechanically, I don't think there's really any modifications I would have done besides the springs sooner.
Oh,
maybe.
yeah.
But
awesome. So last question then on that is, where is Sheila now?
Yeah, Sheila's on display in the French Hook Motor Museum in South Africa, just outside of Cape Town. I think she's there till September or something, or August. She's on display.
Yeah,
that's cool. I think I saw a picture of it. Yeah, on social media. Looked great.
Yeah, she's with a bunch of Formula 1 cars and very fancy race cars, and then her.
And there she is. That's awesome. Okay, so, after completing something as big as, driving from London to Cape Town, what made you say, right, let's do it again?
Well, funnily enough, it was a discussion we had while we hadn't finished the other trip, because that's how arrogant and naive we were. It's like, well, we're enjoying this. We're having quite a bit of success on social media, I guess. What if we were going to do something again? What would we do next? And I've done a few road trips in the States. I love it. I think it's great. The landscapes in North America are some of the best in the world, in my opinion. And it just happened to coincide with the World Cup, which to me is the greatest thing in the world. So to merge those two ideas together, we would have to work quickly to get something. And then what vehicle would we do it in? I was a big fan of the BBC series Stephen Fry in America, where he drove a London taxi all around every single state. And I've been wanting to replicate that for some time. So put our own spin on it, do it at the World Cup. And before you know it, I'm on the phone to Seth, and he's trying to find Canada's only taxi, which has been sat on a film set for 7 years, hasn't moved.
Oh, wow.
And I'll let you tell the story. What did you say to me on the phone?
Yeah, I was like, we are not buying this taxi. It is awful. We can find something else. And then this guy made it happen, and I have to buy the worst taxi.
It wasn't that. We were looking at importing them, but we just didn't have enough time. It would still be on the boat now.
Right.
I think the day I arrived in Vancouver from Africa, I was actually drove to look at this taxi. Like it's been very fast. We've only been back 2.5 months.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's come together shockingly fast.
Wow. So I mean, was that just like a Google search, like London Taxi Canada, and then that popped up, or did it take a lot of?
You're not far off. And then I ended up in the London Taxi Owners of North America Facebook group. And I found a guy that
Wow.
left a comment 5 years before about owning one. And I messaged him directly, and he said that he would be interested in selling it.
It's like the real "who do you think you are" of searching for a taxi. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So obviously it's right-hand drive as well, right? So yeah, got that to contend with. So yeah, give me an overview of what this next challenge is all about.
So London Taxi, another iconic British vehicle, 10,000 miles, 3 countries, 16 of the FIFA World Cup stadiums. The first time it's been held across 3 countries. As with any World Cup, this one is just as controversial. And one of the main controversial points is transport. People can't get into the stadiums. A lot of the stadiums are 40 odd miles away from the host cities. They've 10x the prices in the likes of New Jersey and Boston and places like that. So again, we want to spread a little bit of joy by having a quirky vehicle, and it was, from my point of view, supporting England, of course, with another iconic British vehicle. But also, if we can give people a lift to the stadiums who are running a bit late, or just help them as some sort of transport solution to highlight the issue a little bit, and spread a bit of good faith and goodwill in the world, but in such a turbulent time. That's the mission of this one. Unlike Sheila the Freewheeler, this time we've only got 39 days. We've got a goal. We need to be at the final in New Jersey, New York, July 19th. So this is a bit of a race as well. So there's a bit of jeopardy on the line with this trip.
And does it have a name, the vehicle?
Abbie the World Cup Cabbie. It rolls off the tongue.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Abbie the
If
Cabbie.
it rhymes, but that's how we choose our names. Sheila the Freewheeler, Abbie the Cabbie.
Yeah, I guess with picking a London cab, like what makes it a good or terrible choice for this trip? Like,
Well, it is
I
like a
get the
commercial vehicle.
giving a ride.
Yeah.
It seats 7. It's designed for driving constantly, albeit at lower speeds. So I'm concerned about that. But the turning radius is incredible for getting around the cities. And it's got a Nissan diesel in it, so it should be maybe reliable.
Well, they're well known for doing many hundreds of thousands of miles.
Yeah, ours has 307,000 miles.
That's very true. But
wow,
only 10,000 more to go. Yeah, it's nothing really.
Easy.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it automatic? Or yeah, it is automatic.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah.
He had much
more.
And how does like planning a route across North America compare to planning down Africa?
It was kind of done for us, really, just by the location of the taxi being so close to where Seth was, and the fact that there's a host stadium there, which is the furthest northwest stadium. It was a natural starting point. Had the taxi been in, I don't know,
Toronto,
Mexico or something, maybe we would have started there. But and the final being on the East Coast, we have to finish there. So the route itself kind of made itself for us. So yeah, we're starting in Vancouver, traveling on the West Coast into Mexico, back up into Texas, long drive to Miami, even longer drive to Atlanta, and then Kansas, and then into Toronto. And then there's 3 stadiums quite close together in Boston, New York, and Philadelphia for the final flourish.
Brilliant. What new challenges are you kind of anticipating, especially with borders and like the terrain being different?
Feels like a vacation, like logistically.
I don't know. If you've been reading the news today, there's been fans being denied visas left, right, and centre. I'm shitting myself a little bit with some of the countries I've been to recently. Well, I can't fathom it really. How FIFA are just, it's ridiculous. They're just not letting fans in. They're not letting players in.
Referees,
the referee today.
Yeah,
it's craziness.
Yeah,
so hoping they let me across the land border. I don't know, but I do. There are going to be different challenges. Yeah, to compare to Africa, because I think we're going to think it's a bit of a walk in the park, and lo and behold, something's probably going to catch us off guard mechanically, or there's a lot of driving to do. Well, as I said, it's a timeline thing, really. We need to be in certain places, certain days. We're working with certain sponsors. We need to kind of, be obligated to do work for them, which we weren't so much last time as well. They've got us tickets for a few of the games, so we have to be at the stadiums on that date. So it's going to be fun to watch. But yeah, there's going to be certainly a lot of pressure on us to kind of deliver what we need to deliver. And in that fast-paced environment, trying to upload videos every single day as well. It's going to be challenging.
Awesome. What's the setup this time? Do you have a fridge? lined up, or maybe that's something still to
You would
put
have
in
thought,
the van.
yeah, no, we haven't.
Yeah, no fridge, no air conditioning.
Weirdly, we prioritise the TV we've got in the back so you can watch the games. So you'll see that
Brilliant.
in the coming days. But really, the car when Seth got the car, it wasn't running. So the priority really is just getting the car running. The wheels were seized, the fuel tank was fudged.
Yeah, fuel tank has holes in it. Brakes are the wheels. It didn't roll. We had to get it dragged, and the wheels were locked up. So a whole new braking system, reseal the gas tank, flush the brake lines. Doesn't even have brakes really as of tonight. We're still working on getting it going for tomorrow.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I know on your trip down Africa, you were stopped quite a lot by the authorities. Do you see yourself being stopped by the authorities on this trip?
I think so. Yeah.
The federales in Mexico, I could see wanting to check out the car.
Yeah. I see it happening in,
Texas.
yeah, some of these American states are well known for having a bit of a job's worth. A sheriff, not a lot going on. We rock up in a car he's never seen before. Yeah.
And it's got Canadian plates, is that right?
That's true.
Yeah. And British plates are still on it too.
Oh, yes. If we get a speeding ticket, who's going to get the...
Yeah. One might go to the UK, one might go to me.
What's the one thing you want people to take away from this new challenge then?
Yeah, I think going back to what we kind of said earlier, I think if we can help people out in their time of need, I know people are going to struggle to get to the stadiums. That is a fact. And if we could be a bit of a, I know it's very, very silly, very stupid, but just a small help to someone to make someone's day, make people smile, give them a lift for free. And, the World Cup, as controversial as it has been, it does still bring people together from all over the world into one place. And I'm looking forward to meeting these communities of people, the fans from Curacao, from Cape Verde, from Scotland, from Germany, from wherever. And they might have missed their train, might have missed their bus. We turn up in a London taxi. Don't worry, lads, hop in, and we'll come to the rescue. I think if we can do that, and I just want to see the beaming smile on someone's face when we deliver them first class VIP to one of the stadiums. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be.
That's awesome. Yeah, bring some joy to what will be a spectacle of not just football this year. It's going to be lots of angles looking at it. Okay, well, what advice then would you give to anyone who, now that you've done the Reliant Robin trip and planning this one, what's number one advice you'd give someone if they were going to try and do something similar?
I think we were having this conversation earlier, actually, with another interview, and you've got to just take the risk sometimes. It depends on your personal life and where you are, whether you've got kids and mortgage and whatever else. And one of the questions he asked, I said, when was the last time you had a normal job? And I was like, that was like a good point. It probably was 7-10 years ago. But yeah, it's difficult unless you've seen the other side. You don't know how fulfilling it could be. You need to take that leap and take that risk. And if it's not for you, it's not for you. You can go back, and there's always going to be work for you, another job, etc., or another vocation to go into. But if you want to travel and see more of the world, whether that's getting in your car and driving to Snowdon and climbing the mountain, or if you're going to the Alps, or wherever it may be, it doesn't have to be far. But take some time off for yourself as well. I think we should be more selfish as human beings. You only get one go round. In my opinion, there's no point working all your life for someone else to enjoy it in your 50s and 60s. And whatever else you need to do it while you're fit and healthy. So take the risk you've always dreamed of, something you always planned on doing.
Yeah.
Just take some time out for yourselves. Do it. Quit your job. You can always get work again.
Yeah.
People just people are too comfortable. Just do it.
Drive a beater.
Yeah.
Don't take on those monthly payments as much if you can, and it frees up a lot. And I've been working construction to make this happen. I come back and just work and save, and then go again. It's tough, but it's a whole lot better than an alternative.
Yeah, that's great advice. Okay, so how can people support this next project? The floor is yours. Is there a charity involved again this time?
Yeah, so we're still working with School in a Bag. So the link is still in all our social medias. Hold My Gear on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. But yeah, 3 countries, 10,000 miles, 16 World Cup stadiums. And we've got a deadline to reach on the 19th of July, the final. Will we make it? I have no idea. We don't know what's going to happen, to be honest. We've got a live tracking feature this time around as well. But it's a really good interactive live tracker. So if you spot us on the road, you can submit photos and upload them to the site as well. It tells you where we are in real time, and where we're heading to and how many miles we've done. It's got like all the stats on there as well. So there'll be a link to that in our social medias most days. So yeah, follow along.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing the update from the last one and the new one for this. I'll make sure, obviously, to add all the links in the description of the video for people to check out. But yeah, I can only wish you good luck on achieving this goal, and it'll be really fun to watch. So thank you, Ollie and Seth.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Have a good night.